I wouldn't murder you for saying bad things about Ark.
Yeah, you would. I would literally say,
No.
yes, you would. You can't even try to lie to me, dude.
I talk bad about Ark myself. Okay, so
yeah,
there's nothing you can tell me that I don't already know about Ark.
Jesus, hi, and welcome everybody to the first edition and the comeback on the Playback Game podcast. But we promise that we're going to bring you nothing but professionalism.
No, on some real shit.
So can we like
real shit.
Can we plug like try to get sponsors?
Unfortunately, I don't think that's the sponsorship we're going to be getting anytime soon.
This episode brought to you by David Ortiz.
Like Bella said, welcome everybody to the latest edition of After Hours with Playback Gaming. Yes, back again. How did you phrase it earlier, Reaper? How did you phrase it on Twitter?
The Eminem song. Guess who's back? Back again.
Ugh. He cut it out.
And he stopped right there because it was that
exactly. Right when it gets to the good part.
I'm sorry.
Right when it gets to the good part.
I'll sing the entire fucking song next week, all right? Damn, my bad.
Yeah, it is your bad. But we got a lot on agenda today. I'm over here already stuttering on my words. But we already got a couple of things to bring to you. It's about a week old. We're going to talk a little bit about the E3 leaks with Walmart Canada, of all places, in Canada. Did they apologize? Did they apologize for that yet?
Dude, they probably apologized the day after it happened. You know how Canada is. Hey, you hit my dog. Sorry.
What? Sorry.
I hit your dog. Why are you apologizing to me? What the hell?
And then we're going to talk a little bit about one of Reaper's favorite producers of games, Mr. Cliff Bleszinski and Boss Key Studios, and them shutting down. And then we're going to end it with, we'll save that for the end. So before we actually begin everything, we actually want to introduce one of our newest members to the After Hours podcast and one of our newest hosts, Mr. Warfingers.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, bud.
Yeah.
So Mr. Warfingers, this is absolutely no. Thank you for being here, sir.
Definitely.
So this is your first podcast, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about you and your history with gaming. What are the games that got you into gaming? What is it that you enjoy about gaming, and what gets you excited?
We'll talk
about gaming. We don't want to know what gets you excited in general, just about gaming.
Oh, so that's a general question, right?
What gets you
I was just clarifying before you went into too much detail. Please, sir, continue.
You're right. Save that for the party afterwards. What's up?
So let's see. The first legit game that I experienced was I think Civilization back on PC, like one of the first renditions of Civilization. And that kind of got me into the world of, I guess that would be a RTS. And then I was kind of hooked from there. From there, I grew into more PC gaming. Because I really didn't get into consoles until I got a little bit older, with the Nintendo and everything. But definitely PC gaming was what started everything. So from Civilization, I graduated to not even World of Warcraft. Orcs and Humans is the very first one. So, and then of course I followed that hardcore all the way until the release of World of Warcraft, and then I kind of stopped gaming for a while. And when I did come back, it was with Halo on Xbox.
Ooh, Halo.
Yeah. So that kind of brought me back into the world of gaming. And then it's just been pretty steady ever since then. Haven't been too much of like a hardcore gamer. Probably pretty casual for the most part. Until about 3 years ago when I started playing Ark. Then I became an Ark addict.
Ooh.
And that was a wrap from there.
See, it's not just me. It's not just me. It grabs people.
No, because I would imagine that they wouldn't take the server over just for you, as important as you are.
Wait, what was that?
Huh?
Oh, Dizzy was saying it's not just him that's addicted to Ark. I'm like, yeah, because they would keep the server open just for you, Dizzy. Obviously, there's other people that play this trash.
Oh yeah, there's a whole community of trash players.
I mean,
but he's not lying.
They prefer public works, but yeah, we can go with trash players, I guess.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. So, yeah, Warfingers is going to be joining this panel here with After Hours as we continue to go forward and bring you more content, and you'll be expecting a lot more with us. But also, if you didn't realize, that we have one of the originators of the whole PVG movement is with us. You might have heard of her. I believe she goes by Bella Ryse. Is that correct?
That sounds familiar even to me.
Yeah, is that right?
Yes, that is correct. It's nice to be back. It's been years since you and I first sort of came together to start really getting playback gaming to be what you had envisioned that you wanted it to be. So it's been quite a few years now since that started, and it's lovely to come back and join you on the relaunch of your podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bella, very much for being here. What have you been up to? Tell us.
Well, firstly, I've just finished writing a check for my time today. I am sending that to you just as soon as we're finished. But apart from that, look, obviously I run Real Game Media, so I put a lot of my time into that. I've also just started my own business as well. As you know, it's all focused around reptiles and snake wrangling, and it makes sense if you live in Australia. It seems, quite severe if you're not an Australian, but this is just our daily life over here. So, but apart from that, yeah, just a lot of gaming. I can contribute 450 hours of lost time of my life so far this year to Monster Hunter alone. So, yeah, love that game.
Oh, wait, you played that trash?
Yeah, I did play that trash. I'm like, it has no actual meaning.
I didn't know people still played that
game. Y'all are hateful, man.
Yeah, so kind of kicking back to what you were talking about the other day. You told me you bought something like 20 children.
Oh, well, day before yesterday, I came home with 14 albino Darwin pythons. So, yeah.
Yes, it is illegal.
Yeah, not Mexicans. I didn't come home with 20 Mexicans. I came home with Darwin albino pythons.
Wow, he said children, not Mexicans. We just go right for the
gut. Right for the gut.
Wow, I thought this was family friendly.
Damn, dude.
Wow.
If you didn't notice by the Jameson in his hand.
Jeez.
Yeah, I bought like
that is
Mexicans.
Well, okay, that is awesome to hear about the new endeavors. What's the business called? I believe it has a name.
Yeah, so it's the House of Scales, and you can find me at the House of Scales Reptiles on Facebook. My website will launch this weekend, so you can look out for that at thehouseofscales.com.au. Thank you very much for the plug.
Yeah, absolutely. Any time, and I'll be expecting that check here soon. So, Reaper, what have you been up to?
Oh, just going back to school. Still going to school for engineering, graduating. Shit, a week.
You can tell by his facial expression right there that he's just kind of in a daze from it. He doesn't even believe that he's going to be graduating soon.
No, I can't believe it. Like, I graduate with my associates in a week, and then I got my bachelor's, my master's, and I don't know what to do with myself anymore.
Well, hats off. Congrats to that. One of the subjects that he actually wanted to talk about, and I actually had to stop him right there, is he wanted to talk about Infinity War. And I was like,
man,
somebody on this panel hasn't seen it yet.
Bella.
Why do you want to talk about Infinity War? I mean, are we just going to bring everybody into a state of depression?
I don't think
Is it that bad?
I mean, does it really matter? Because Deadpool comes out this weekend.
Oh, word. I'll go to the movie theater to see that.
See, now I gotta comment on that now. Like, I just watched Black Panther with my family, and it's like expectations for Black Panther 2. It's like, fuck.
Well, it looks like they're going to end up having to save that. And yeah, we already heard the F-bomb the first time, all right? You're not getting away with this one, pal. So there was a leak that happened recently a Mr. Wario 64 had caught wind that Walmart Canada was saying, "Hey, this is what's coming out. Here's a little bit of a placeholder." So when do you anticipate getting Forza Horizon 5?
Is that a serious question, or are you just, you know?
I mean, it was on the leak.
Yeah.
Did anyone?
I'll pick up Forza 5 when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out.
I think the more pertinent question here is hands up anybody who's surprised there will be a Forza Horizon 5. Nope. Okay, let's move along.
Oh, okay.
But what happened? Of course, I've been joking this entire time. You know, it was a Thanos snap that got rid of Forza Horizon 4.
hey, easy.
Like, Horizon 4 had to go somewhere. So a lot of individuals were thinking that, hey, this has to be a fake thing. You know, they're saying things like Forza Horizon 4 is going to be coming out, and then you see a Rage 2, and it's like, nobody liked Rage 2. And then Bethesda teased us with a Rage 2. Next thing you know, we have a Rage 2. How does that look to anybody? Has everybody had a chance to check out the trailer or the gameplay or anything?
I haven't. I mean, I hear it's just talking with you and Frodo. All I hear is that like it looks like it wants to be Doom, it's the Borderlands, and the first Rage. I never got into it. It looks like it's freaking Mad Max on the Xbox, and it's like, eh.
Oh, Rage, that came out a few years back.
Yeah, Rage, it came out at the end of the life cycle of the Xbox 360s and the PS3. It actually had a lot of praise for the gunplay mechanics, but that's about as far as it went. Really not that compelling. Made by Bethesda, probably glitchy. Like,
yeah, you've got Anchorman shaking his fist at you right now.
That is the truth. Anchor somewhere is prepping my casket. I can see that already.
Dude, Anchor's got your casket made. He is just putting a nice little wood finish on it right now. He's ready for you, man. If you hear a doorbell ring at 2 a.m., don't answer it.
You see about a 7-foot-tall large man like, no, standing over with the belt. I said, no, please no.
Yeah, what happened to Dizzy? Yeah, Anchor got a hold of him.
Was there anything that anyone might have seen on the list that was compelling to them that might have been on there?
Look, the problem with these lists is that you can't take them as being an actual thing. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not an accidental leak. They're absolutely 100% put out there to create more of a if this place is going to have it, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be there, opening day or Walmart and stuff like that. Like these companies purposely leak this stuff because they want the business. It doesn't matter whether it's real or not. If people see a leak, they're going to believe it, and they're going to think that the best place to go for it is here. Let me go and spend my money there. I don't even bother looking into these things. It pisses me off that people put so much weight into leaks as well. So,
yeah, I mean, like Destiny 2's leak. Oh, the Destiny 1 quote unquote leak about them doing like a Saturn mission. It's like, oh, Destiny 1 expansions can be on Saturn. And it's just like, oh, let's go get hyped up for Destiny 1. Oh, no, just kidding. That's Destiny 2, and that's 2 years away. So it's like, cool, we're going to get these leaks, we're going to get all this cool stuff, but then we're going to be let down in the long run because it's actually, like, Anchorman was talking on Twitter, like, what if this Rage 2 leak is really Bethesda saying they're putting on another Elder Scrolls game? Like, what's going to happen then? And it's like, well, don't be surprised if that actually happens. Like, they could be teasing a game and be like, surprise, we tricked you. It's actually something else entirely.
Yeah, agreed. It would be really nice just for a change for everybody to just wait for things to be announced. Because wouldn't that be amazing if we could just actually be surprised by shit just for once?
Wait, you want surprises?
Before it even happens.
You are telling me you want to go to E3 with a blindfold on?
Yes.
I know, right? How fucking naive is that concept?
What you are saying is wait. You are saying is ludicrous. Is that one of the words?
Let me check. Hold up. Wait. Yep, right there. Cool. Top corner. We're good.
Have you actually told the listeners about the bingo yet, so that they actually know what you're talking about?
Yeah, we should probably mention that. So Bella wants to have a word bingo over here. What are the words that we have to you have to say these words and you have to insert them properly
That's correct. So
they can't sound forced. Okay.
That's
so
right.
Now, what are the words that we need to say?
Yes. So the words are superfluous, concise, detrimental, supersedes, and ludicrous. Dizzy has just wiped ludicrous off the list. So anyone who's listening, write these words down. It doesn't matter if you don't spell them right because we can't see it. Superfluous, concise, detrimental, supersedes, and ludicrous.
I'm pretty sure I
Hear
can
all
work
5 of them.
2 of those into the
Right,
same set.
yeah, I could if I wanted to, but what's the fun in that?
So when we say the words, do we have to say it the word specifically or a formation of the word?
No, the word specifically, or otherwise then it's just too black and white, and then you end up arguing with people in the chat section.
So we have to. So essentially, what you're telling us is we have to be concise on how we say this.
Correct.
See,
Okay,
I
so
think
that's
the
not
attitude
the
right
list.
now is detrimental to this conversation. If we can move on from this, it'd be great. Thanks.
Just typing is superfluous. It's an actual reason
Come
why
on!
Wait, can I get the list again?
He's over, Warfingers is over here like, hold on a second. I didn't know what we were going to be going
These are
through
all
in
new
English
words.
class over here.
Look,
Are these Australian words?
Supersedes everybody else. All 5 words are now out. Let's move on.
So, there were actually some that were on this list that I thought that might be interesting, like DC villains for. I mean, yeah, it'd be a Lego game, but that's kind of a little bit different from the normal of what they would do. Not the superheroes, but like as children walking around in the background.
It is definitely after hours.
Anything can happen at the after hours. Okay, so no kids allowed, and there's a child in the back.
You know what? Bella did just bought like 20 kids, so
But
Right? Is that one of them?
so,
I thought when those fucking Mexicans got loose.
oh. It's sad because he is half Mexican.
I know. That's why I made the joke.
So, but like I was saying, I mean, Lego DC villains, that one looks pretty good. But the ones that obviously we are expecting to come out, we do know that Borderlands 3 is already being made, so that's not surprising. It wouldn't be surprising if another Just Cause comes out. I don't know why they keep making those games. Are they that interesting? Are there enough people buying the games that make it that interesting?
I didn't even know there was more than one, to be honest. So that's my.
Just Cause 3, they're up to, I think, has been released.
Yeah, well, I think that the latest one was 3, and they had like a gliding mechanism or some kind of jumping mechanism, which was all the hoopla about it. But I mean,
Yeah, they're like, let's take this mechanic out of Far Cry and chuck it into Just Cause. Why not?
Right. It's essentially they took Grand Theft Auto and they took what is it, Saints Row with the superpowers and combined them together, super jumping, whatever. So Just Cause, they had awkwardly Gears of War 5. It's kind of weird that you would see Gears before the next Halo. Am I the only one that feels that way?
You know, you're not. As much as I love Gears, I'm on the fence about that one. Then, like Gears of War, the way 4 ended, like it got me real hyped up for 5. But I feel like Gears 5 coming out anytime soon could be detrimental to the whole system itself of Gears happening, because 4 came out 2 years ago on the Xbox One. That was the main staple for me, anyways, for getting an Xbox One, and I loved it. But I don't know if I want Gears 5 just yet. Like I don't know how they're gonna. I know how they're gonna go about the series, but I don't know how they're gonna go about the series. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't need Gears 5 in my life just yet. I want for them to take their time to really spend a great deal of time building a lore and more character development behind the new characters, this youth that's being brought into the Gears franchise, so that they're not just stepping in as these characters that we only know briefly from our time in Gears 4, that there's this whole world now that can be delved into through the character development, which will then cement another 10 years of Gears of War. And unless they take their time to do that, it's just going to be like, Judgment all over again. Oh my God.
Oh, God.
And you know what's awful is because I liked Judgment.
You get out. Leave the podcast. Go reevaluate your entire life as a gamer.
Dizzy's
come back to the podcast.
Fired on my first day, boss.
I mean, it makes sense. You like Judgment. You play Ark all the damn time.
Exactly.
You obviously like terrible games.
Hey, I will play in the rubble if I need to. All right.
Come at me, bro.
Pretty much come at me, bro. So Gears of War 5 was one that was listed. Splinter Cell, which has been rumored for quite some time.
If I
Dragon
can,
Quest 2, it says that this one. Go ahead.
If I could jump in on the Gears 5 debate again.
Yeah.
Bella's right. Like they need to make more lore. I'm gonna assume that with how long Gears 4 has been out, I can talk about the ending of the game. The way it ended was just like, oh yeah, sad ending, and then the fucking who gives a shit. Like the final 10 seconds when you actually see what happens at the end, it's just like, all right, cool. So what you're telling me is Gears 3 ended and it was supposed to be the be-all, end-all of that one specific thing. And then you're going to bring 4 into it and be like, oh, no, we actually kind of, muffed the whole thing. And now you get to do this all over again in 3 more. Like, no.
Yeah,
now you're just,
like, they were just fighting well under another layer of the Earth's crust and managed to survive under there. Everything else got nuked, but, some of the DNA is left. And,
it's okay, cool. Like Halo 3 was like the Covenant Schism where it's like, oh, awesome. We get, we're fighting with elites. Then Halo 4 comes out and it's like, JK, it's a separate unit of the Covenant. And now you're fighting Covenant and Prometheans for 3 more games, which is like, it's like, no. Like, if we're fighting the Forerunners and the Prometheans, focus on that. Take the Covenant entirely out of it. Let us go into an entirely new lore of the series. Don't bring back the same old shit and make us do it all over again for 3 more games, because that just gets old and no one's going to support this anymore.
That's right. And it's just so many easy ways that they can take it past, like the locusts and just depending on, Halo, Gears of War, it's the same thing. There's so many different ways that they can move forward now that they've defeated their foe, which was the biggest foe in the universe. The foe has now been defeated. Well, what happens when the biggest foe in the universe is defeated? Everybody else that was, sitting underneath them that was too afraid to fight against them or try and show that they were the biggest, baddest power in the universe now has the opportunity to step up. There's nothing but endless opportunities that can be done here instead of regurgitating the same fucking shit, or worse, mixing the shit in so that nothing actually makes sense and there's no clear, definitive bloody direction in the game.
The sidebar.
What if they just? Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, man. I'll wait.
I was just gonna say, what if they just turn the game upside down and now we're fighting Master Chief and everybody else? I think that'd be dope.
Ow.
I think a lot of people thought that that's what was going to happen.
Frodo agrees with you because I was talking with him the other day. His biggest complaint with Halo 5 was that it was built up and marketed as like a holy shit, it's locked. It's Spartan 4s versus the last Spartan 2, last Spartan 2 team. Last Spartan 2 team. And it's like, yeah, let's have lock fight Chief and let's watch that shit go down. And instead you get like
epic.
You get like a 90-second, like, holy shit, they're fist fighting. And somehow Spartan 4 is going to Spartan 2, which doesn't make any fucking sense. But you know what? It's Halo all out. Who cares? And then it's like, you know what? No, we have to work. No, you're not working together. You hate each other. Fight to the death, damn it. Give me this now. I want to see somebody die.
Yeah, the marketing on Halo 5 was terrible. And when I say terrible, the marketing itself from a developer and publisher standpoint was brilliant. It was very well done. And it really drew you in as a gamer. But for us as a gamer, it was terrible marketing because it lied to us. It really was utterly deceiving. It made us think that we were getting something that we weren't. It showed us scenes in marketing that were never even in the game.
Yeah, I agree. And here's what's really twisted about it. I love Halo to death, okay? And everybody that's talked to me, they know how I feel about fighting Prometheans. I will take the Flood 10,000 times more times than the Prometheans are just boring.
Take the Prometheans, fight the Flood.
Exactly what you were saying, Bella, with the marketing. In the very beginning, I was actually very anti. I was like, no, Master Chief's the man. You're not going to bring in this man lock and replace him, yada yada yada. I play the game. After I got through the game and I played through the campaign, and because it wasn't what we were kind of advertised, towards the end of it, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I kind of wish I could play with Locke a little bit more.
Yeah. And, did you watch Waypoint before you even started playing it? So I watched all those episodes of Waypoint, and I was like, this dude is the man. I'm okay with this, right? And then you play the game, it's like, hang on, no, this is really some mixed messaging here.
Right. So, were there any other titles that we saw on this listing? Because I mean, Halo unfortunately wasn't part of this listing for whatever reason. I know that Halo 6 would have been down there, sitting below, because we all know that it is coming. Hopefully, they take their time with it. Was there anything else that was on the list? Kingdom Hearts 3 or Kingdom Hearts 3? Anybody?
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Yeah, well,
Bueller?
look, if that game comes out before I reach my deathbed, I'll be amazed. Like, I'm at that point now where it's like I've wanted this now for 11 years, going on 12 now, and it's like, all right, hey, Kingdom Hearts announcement. Oh shit, what's it gonna be? Oh, 2.5 remake. No, fuck you. I don't want a 2.5 remake. I want 3. You had 12 years to work on this, man.
With 15, like how long was that in the works for? Nearly as long as what we've been hearing about Kingdom Hearts. Like, it's one of those things that you can grow up when you have kids. You can be like, well, I spent a quarter of my life or a third of my life waiting for this game to be developed, let alone actually get released.
I remember when we were first going to step on the moon.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like, Dad, Grandpa, look, Final Fantasy VII. I remember when that game first came out.
Did anybody see that they said that you should have Final Fantasy VII by 2023? Okay, you have a date. 2023.
I have to wait 5 years to make Final Fantasy VII remake.
Wait, it might have been either 2023 or 2026, and it was something stupid like that. Like, well, who really wants to wait that long? By then, nobody's even going to remember half the people that played it.
Not only that, but what's the fucking point? If the game is going to be in production for that many years, how many times is the technology going to change between then and now? Are they honestly developing a game now that isn't going to be released for another 5 years and expect it to actually meet the expectations of us as gamers there versus what will be made for current technologies?
Well, look at Duke Nukem, right?
Ooh. If it's a VR game, look, if they're like, oh, it comes out 2023, and you're gonna give me a fully immersive, augmented reality where I can run around as Bear with a fucking gun on my arm, I'm in. Fuck it, sign me up.
He said augmented reality.
If you tell me, oh, it's gonna be on a console, there's like it's just console based. It's like you made me wait. That even came out what 97? You made me wait over like close to 30 years for a fucking remake of this, and I can only play with a controller. Go fuck yourselves. That being said, if they release it, it turns out that it's just like a fucking, like the turn-based game. They have like, oh, you're running around as Cloud, all that shit. Like, no, if you're gonna give me a remaster, give me a frame-for-frame remake with 4K graphics of the original game, and I'm content. Don't give me like you're gonna run around and explore.
In 5 years, you're gonna go and buy it. You're not gonna tell anyone about it, but you're gonna go into offline mode and you're gonna buy it and play it.
I'm gonna tell everybody. You kidding me? I'm gonna post that shit all over the web. Like,
I'm not sure how these achievements appeared here. They just one day they just popped up. I didn't play it. I swear. That's what I say whenever the Bees movie's on my list of achievements. And my younger brother had started playing a Bees movie and he got one achievement. And I was like, crap, people are going to see that I've been playing a Bees movie. I've never played a Bees movie, so then I had to go play it and get more achievements. So
and now you've actually played a Bees movie.
Now I've actually played it. I'm ashamed of myself for that. A Bees movie. Nothing.
It's okay, man. We still don't love you.
Oh wow. Sorry, Diz. I like you.
Thank you. At least somebody does.
Hey, so he's just saying that so you don't murder him in Ark. Like, oh, look, I'm so look, it's oh shit, that's a giga. God dang it, there goes my base.
It's all good, man. It's better than getting a god summoned, I guess. Freaking Conan. Hey, but I saw Division 2 on that list.
And I'm in such a rush to raise my money twice on that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I
would hope that the second rendition would be a little bit better.
Did you play the first one, Warfingers?
Yeah, I played it. I was trying to like wean myself off of Ark, so I was like, oh, look at this cool game. So I played it for like 3 weeks and tamed a giga. So
right.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about
I wasn't too impressed.
Hey man, it could be worse. You could have always bought Destiny.
That's what I started off playing.
I'm gonna go now, guys. Bye.
There is nothing wrong with Destiny. Sit back down.
There's a lot wrong with this.
I would rather spend the rest of my entire summer playing Call of Duty nonstop for 10 hours a day than ever drop a dime on Destiny ever again.
Look, just because you were good at it doesn't make the bad game.
Oh, that game sucks.
No, it doesn't.
PvP is fun.
Hey guys,
arenas, but
hey guys, we're listening to what you guys want. You know, we're gonna listen to the community and do exactly what you guys want. We're gonna take away level scaling though and make Iron Banner completely fucking useless and make Trials of the Nine a total waste of time. But yeah, we're listening to everything. Yeah, totally. Thanks, dude. Breach.
Now we know how he feels about that. You know, but
yeah.
I actually recently bought the DLCs. I've been moderately surprised. Everybody told me that Curse of Osiris was going to be the worst DLC that I've ever played. I still say it's House of Wolves. I thought that was terrible. I enjoyed Curse of Osiris, and we just started to play Warmind. And ironically, I'm being forced to play Destiny against my will, but I'm willingly playing it against my will now.
Couldn't somebody
wait.
with you for $100?
Yeah, I know it doesn't make sense. I don't make sense. All right, none of it makes sense. So, but yeah, Division 2 was on there. There's some that I actually haven't seen. I know that Ubisoft has that the pirate game that is coming out. I didn't see that listed down there, but there's going to be a couple more, of course. Destiny Comet, on the subject of Destiny.
That's what it's called.
But the comic or the comic itself is just supposed to be there. Like that's been there since the beginning. I go rounds and rounds with people when they're telling me that it was supposed to be this 10-year long game. It's like, no, Destiny the franchise was supposed to be 10 years long. They gave you a roadmap before the first one came out. They told you how it was going to go, and then you allowed them to murder Dinklage, and now we're stuck with Nolan North in the stolen bot.
Dinklebot. I miss Dinklebot so much.
Pour one out for the Dinklebot.
I'm not wasting any of my coffee.
What's the Dinklebot?
You didn't notice that the Peter Dinklage is no longer voicing the ghost?
Oh, right, the new ghost voice. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we got Dinklebot and Stolenbot.
See,
I call it Stolenbot.
I wasn't that big of a fan where I'm like, well, who plays the voice of the ghost?
I was actually quite devastated by it because I have, the Ghost, the collector's edition one that's motion detector. You power it up, turn it on, and then when you walk past it, it says all the stuff from, So I have that, and then it was really annoying that they changed the voice because I'm like, but.
You have the legacy voice though, so I mean, that's good.
This is true.
It is true. I still hold out hope that maybe in the future we get DLC that maybe we even have to pay for, and Dinklebot makes his triumphant return as the midget ghost.
For $5.95, you can have the original voice used in Destiny 1. This is Destiny 56, and it'll only cost you $5.95. That's right, people. $5.95.
I'd rather pay like $10.99 and like pick who I'd want to. They should have like a list of voices. Like I want Morgan Freeman's voice or Mike Tyson voice.
If I could have Mike Tyson voice my ghost, I'd be so
watch
happy.
out, Tyson! It's
Oh my god! I would honestly,
it'd be epic.
I would drop $100 on Destiny tomorrow. Like Mike Tyson voices the ghost. Done. Gimme.
Innovations right there.
I just hope that you leave with your ear after Tyson comes in as your ghost. All right.
Only 3 minutes ago, you just very loudly stated how you would never spend another cent on Destiny. So clearly, even you have your price.
I'm sorry.
How come nobody's mentioned the Samuel L. Jackson voice?
He
Bro,
did. Oh, dude,
it'd be dropping MF bombs like a MF.
Bro, the only way that works is this game is not ready to mature. It's only for the Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, everyone's gonna be buying the Sam Jackson voice. There's
that
no
would
way
be the
around
thing
this.
on the. That's how you sell the DLC for that, though. Is you say
Get
like,
this
hey, this turns into mature.
off my motherfucking plane.
Yeah,
Dude.
All these motherfucking thralls.
I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of hoping when they released Curse of Osiris and you saw his ghost pop up, and I was like, man, if that's Dinklebot, whoo, it's gonna be game over.
Like I said, pour one out for the Dinklebot. But moving on, so I don't know if this hits home for you because I know that we were just talking about Gears of War, but Reaper, how do you feel about Boss Key Studios shutting down?
Look, man, if you want to save the Gears of War franchise, you call Cliff B like now. Anybody, hey man, you got your job back. Save us, please.
Yeah,
Well,
we
God,
are available for
save
the
us.
foreseeable future.
Yeah. So hey, we actually that you are looking for work, and here's a blank check with your name on it. Please come back.
Is that where you got to start? Was with Gears of War?
Oh my God.
Because I had never heard of this guy until I watched this podcast today.
I will never forget my winner, and Cliffy B, if you see this, you're still an asshole. He was talking about how he got his, like, how they decided to make Gears of War 3, and I was like, oh, you know, Dom's death. How did you guys plan that one out? Did you guys like sit down in a room and like, hey, you know, we're gonna kill, you know, let's plan this out, let's make it really emotional. He replies back, no, we were drunk at a bar one night, and I was like, dude, let's kill Dom. And we went with that.
Yeah.
Like, fuck! You're an asshole! He's like, yeah, I was drunk at a bar. I said, fuck it, let's do it. I was like, you're such a dick, man.
That's a beautiful answer, though.
But aren't drunken ideas the best ideas ever, though?
I mean, that's how his podcast started. So, yeah, I have to say so.
Hey, you ain't wrong. Hey.
Dude, bitch.
Oh, is it time to advertise?
What about you, Bells? How do you feel about Boss Key and their latest shutdown? Did you get to play Radical Heights?
No, but I did get to play around with Lawbreakers for a bit, and look, I'm a tad saddened by this because I feel that Lawbreakers was made to appeal to what the community had said they wanted out of that type of game. They wanted something that was fast-paced. They wanted something that was, you know, more cartoon-esque, but still very FPS. And, you know, there were a lot of different bunches of feedback that were taken from the community as a whole through a lot of different surveys and put into making Lawbreakers what it was. And so to see a development studio put so much of their time and money and effort and so much talent into making this game, and for everybody to provide so much feedback to them along the way that they continued with this process and continued to sink their life savings into this game, and then for it to actually get released and have an average uptake and then a steady drop off to the point where they were just losing so much money that they couldn't even bother, you know, couldn't even be able to keep the doors open anymore. It's really disgusting. Like, I really wish that gamers would be more honest about what they actually want. We are just such a bunch of self-entitled assholes. We expect every single video game to cater to our every fucking need. No, there's millions of us out there that are going to buy the same game. It needs to appeal to us all on a certain level. There are going to be some things we don't like, some things we're going to love, and that just is how it is. Unfortunately, with Lawbreakers, you know, they followed a lot of feedback that was given by the community as opposed to just went down a path of choosing their own identity and staying true to it. Now, Cliffy B is having to close the doors. We've got a lot of people that don't have their jobs. Is that the community's fault? No, it's not the community's fault. It's completely the studio's choice to go down that path and to make the game the way they made it. But it's just sad to see that another studio full of talent yet again closing their doors.
I'm looking at the game right now. I'm looking at like because I never played it, but I'm looking at like clips and stuff, and it looks like robots playing Quidditch, shooting each other. So I mean,
kind of like Overwatch on steroids.
Yeah, the way that I saw it, to me, honestly, whenever I saw it, it looked like if you could take Overwatch and you could take Unreal Tournament and you can kind of combine it together, that's kind of what it looked like, which makes sense because that's the identity of what Cliffy B. You know, he started with the Unreal series. It's crazy to see, and I do have to agree. It's crazy that they did take a lot of feedback and they did do a lot of things that the people wanted. And right now, I mean, the latest one with Radical Heights, everybody's wanting their piece of the battle royale. And everybody is saying, oh, why does everybody want a battle royale? But then another battle royale comes out and they're like, oh my God, another battle royale, you know? It's crazy.
People say they don't want stuff. When people say they don't want something, that means they actually want it. Gamers don't know what they want half the time.
Yeah, I don't want Sandra Bullock at all. What do you mean? Hey, girl.
I don't think that's how you're going to be able to pick her up.
Damn it!
At least one steak dinner.
I'll take her to 14. If I get a hug out of it,
And
shit.
drop that hey girl or either go practice it more.
Hey, man.
We'll leave it at that, right? But yeah, no, I didn't get to play Lawbreakers. Of course, I'm an Xbox. I primarily play on Xbox, and my PC definitely cannot support something like Lawbreakers.
No.
But I did get a chance to kind of dabble around with Radical Heights. I thought it was definitely, I liked the aura that they were putting up. And I think that that's kind of what made it unique because of the spin that they were putting on there. And actually, that was what kind of drew me into it. It's kind of sad. I'm actually surprised at this point that no other development studio or publisher said, hey, what you doing with those IPs over there? Cha-ching, hey.
Don't be surprised if Phil Spencer isn't already having a phone conversation with Cliffy B.
But do you think that he's willing to do something like that, especially with having PUBG?
Look, it wouldn't surprise me. And unfortunately, at the moment, the direction that they're taking that company, I'm not surprised by anything they do at the moment. Sensationalism is what seems to be winning people's minds and hearts of late when it comes to Microsoft. So that would not surprise me.
How dare you talk bad on Microsoft? Sorry, go to the straight face.
Straight to the death.
If people say bad things about Microsoft,
for a lot of us, particularly those who have grown up in the Gears of War franchise as being, a staple of our video games culture, a part of our rich culture that makes us the video gamers that we are today. As much of an arsehole as Cliffy B is, we will always be thankful to him for his influence on the Gears of War franchise and the fucking Lancer, because how good is that Lancer? And so to see him closing his doors, it's sad because we know the talent that he has. We know that when he is given the ability to have his free reign on things, what he can achieve. And maybe that's no longer for him anymore. You know what I mean? He might have gotten past that stage now where his influence on it isn't exactly what the gaming community wants or needs anymore. But like he said in his announcement that they're closing the doors, he now needs time to actually step back because there's things in his life, like his family, members that will be, that are losing time in this world that he needs to focus on and spend time with. He needs to take a step back and actually live his life for a change and stop being so involved in this video game world and not living his actual life. So it was kind of, whilst at the same time it was sad, I almost kind of felt like I got this sense of liberation in his in the words that he was typing as well. So, if that's the case, then good on him. Get out there, smell some roses, drink some wine, go kayaking, whatever the fuck it is that Cliffy B does. Enjoy life.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. And for that one, I definitely would say pour one out for the homie Cliffy B.
Indeed.
I don't know. I didn't grow up on Gears of War. So
you're missing
out. Why you play Ark.
Maybe his failure. Maybe his failure was because he was out sailing and drinking and not giving 100% to his company.
Go play Gears 1 through 3 and tell me he's a failure. Come on.
Okay, well, I tried playing it one time. I tossed it out.
Yeah,
and then went back to Ark. I'm sorry.
Now you play Ark, so it's understandable.
Yeah.
No, well, this is before the Ark days, of course. I was drawn more to Halo because they existed at the same time. I was drawn to Halo and other FPS games.
Gears was always my go-to. I grew up playing Gears, so I don't know.
System, right?
I grew up playing Gears. The active reload was everything to me. Cliffy B saw me through a long, long period of my gaming days, and he helped me through a long period of my gaming days with that game. And it sucks. Like,
exactly,
he was one of the best.
It's a part of our culture.
In my honest opinion, he was one of the best, and it's shitty how the fallout happened after Gears 3 when he was like, I'm not working on any more Gears games. I'm leaving the company to start my own. It's like, dude, I'm proud of you, but like, what's the next step for Gears now? And then now it's like, all right, cool, yeah, you're releasing games like Lawbreakers. Like, I want to play Lawbreakers. Like, I have faith in you because you're a great person, great video game person, and your company's going to do great things. But I never got the chance to because you released it on the PS4, and like Dizzy and you guys, I have my Xbox. I just bought the One X. It's just amazing.
I agree.
But it's like, if you had released that multi-platform, you probably would have had better success, and there's a chance that maybe your company would have stayed open. But I'm going to be another hateful, spiteful person when you got games like Destiny, which are just so casual to play now. Like it's hard to compete against those games. You got games like Overwatch, which for some unknown reason steal people's souls.
I never could get into Overwatch either, man.
It's a fun game to play, but it's like when you got a game like when you put out Lawbreakers, like what Disney said is Overwatch on Bella said Overwatch on steroids. It's like, why waste time trying to play Overwatch on steroids when you can play the light version of that and just play Overwatch
and not have
instead?
to have any skill, just run around and hide behind shit and jump out and shoot people in the back.
Kind of like my arguments on PUBG and Fortnite. Why?
See,
I do not disagree with you about PUBG and Fortnite either, because I do not see the main appeal to that game either.
I feel like I've been playing Overwatch for way too long, though, because if you think about it and you go back to it, all Overwatch really is Dota, and all Dota really is Warcraft 3 fucking mods.
And that's why there's so much appeal there, because you've got a lot of older gamers coming through that aren't getting those games anymore, that we're getting these other versions of it that are similar to it that kind of appeal to our need to fill that niche section in our gaming shopping list.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried it and I was just like, well, this is to me it's the same old crap. It just looks different. It's like putting whipped cream on shit and calling it pie. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, it's not the same.
But it doesn't have to be the same if you're 12 years old and this is the first time you've experienced it. It's amazing. It's new. It's fresh. We've always got these new generations of gaming coming through, and that's why if you take a winning recipe like Dota or something like that, and you just change its just change a little bit of its ingredients and like give it a new fucking packaging and shit. When you've got a new generation of gamers coming through that have never played this stuff before, they're like, oh my god, this is fucking amazing. And you have people that are stuck on like the free version of Fortnite Battle Royale that have just literally lost their lives to this game because it's the most amazing things they've ever seen, Of course you do. You like Ark.
What's that mean?
What's that even mean?
I really feel like our podcast should go from being named After Hours to just let's shit on Ark for 2 hours. That's literally what it's going to be from going forward.
Oh, man.
You guys told me Ark sucks, so I mean, who cares?
Okay, so what is it about Ark, though, since we're talking about it? I mean, what is it that makes it so horrible? Because I think it's an awesome game. I think there's so much room for improvement. Here in a second. Ark, so Disney, and I feel like an asshole because Disney bought the game for me, and I was like, yeah, I'll play some Ark with you. It's just like, he compares the games like he and I grew up playing Ultima. That game was fucked up. That was a real cut, especially with Disney. If you ever want to play a game and hate somebody for the rest of their fucking lives, play any MMO game that has MMO PvP game with Disney. Like, oh yeah, dude, it's cool. We're best friends. I'm gonna fucking murder you in your entire village without question. What do you mean? No decision at all. Like literally, there's a fucking server in Ultima that the developers one day just stopped rebuilding because he kept going in there and blowing the fucking town up. He kept like, oh, we rebuilt the town. Sucks. He'd run in there 5 days later, blow it to fucking hell, and walk away. Nothing happened. He constantly did that. That's awesome.
So he's talking to me like, he's like, oh, come play Ark. It's like, all right, cool. We'll play in a PvE server. I won't kill you. All right, cool. First few seconds, hey man, check out this bitch be good stick. What's that mean? Fucking knocks me out.
With the club.
But it's just like he explained it to me as like Minecraft with dinosaurs. And I play Minecraft. It's like, I'll go in there for like an hour or two to relax, build some shit, and walk out. Because, I'm an engineering major, so I want to build stuff. Who cares?
Sure.
I walk into fucking Ark. This dude's got a fucking town and a half in some random ass ice cap. He's just like, yeah, this took me 3 hours to do. I'm like, well, you have like 14 dinosaurs, four cages, and a fucking petting zoo. How the hell did that take you 3 hours?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, so what's the point of this game? He goes, you just run around and build shit. I'm like, no. Dude, no, I'm not going to run around, get murdered by a dinosaur, murder a dinosaur, tame a dinosaur, and then build a pen for said dinosaur to go do it a third time. Just no.
It's so
I
much
think
fun.
the most important thing that you said was when you started this round off is I only played it because someone else bought it for me. That you wouldn't go out and buy this game yourself.
Absolutely.
The only reason you played it was bought for you.
Pour one out for the homie Dizzy.
And that's why I turned around. Every time he's like, hey man, come play Ark, my first thought was always, you bought the game for me and I never play it, and I feel like such a douchebag because you spent your money on a game.
No, don't feel like a douchebag. Call him the douchebag for buying you a shit game. What kind of fucking friend are you?
Hey, take it easy. Take it easy there.
I
Go install Gears of War 4 and play with me, like do a fucking insane run on the campaign with me, but whatever.
Right?
In his defense, though, Gears of War 4 does take like 6 hours to install, and when it crashes halfway through, I can't be mad at him for not installing it a second time.
You see, the story behind that is, unbeknownst to me, the internet here was taken back. It was taken back about to the lowest level that we had available to us. I didn't know this, and so I went to go download Gears of War 4. I had to, have the game not the game preview, the Game Pass nonsense, and so I go to download it. It took me 3 days to download this 110. I was like, why does this take us so long?
I'm sorry. Is that similar to the day that you convinced me to install Battlefield 3 so I could play it with you and Josh?
Oh, that was amazing.
Get me started.
Yes. Speaking of, I'm glad that you bring that up. We kind of got off subject. So,
kind of?
I kind of, somewhere out there. So, there's a couple of games that you may or may not have heard of. One being Battlefield, the other one, Call of Duty. So at one point, these games were these were your bars. I was actually in a party with Warfingers, one of Warfinger's buddies, and he had made the comment in regards towards these games. He said, "Are these the bars?" Because we say, "Hey, Overwatch comes out, but we still compare it to Call of Duty," or Homefront comes out, and we still compare it to Battlefield. But then Call of Duty comes out and Battlefield comes out, and you say how much you hate the game. So the question is Call of Duty, is Battlefield, are these still the pinnacle? Are these still the bar that we are measuring games by? Because they were at one point. And now with the Battle Royale, you got your PUBGs and the Fortnites, you have your survival games that are coming out, and some of those are starting to take into the dish of that Battle Royale mode. There's now rumors that both Call of Duty and Battlefield are actually going to feature Battle Royale. Are they still the pinnacle? Are they still the bar? Are they what we measure them by? And what has happened to those franchises? Why aren't they what they once were?
I think it's only fair if we let Bella have her 25, 30 minutes on this topic first.
I was actually going to say I'll go last because I'm probably going to say the most.
But okay, so
feelings out first. You guys get your feelings out.
I will start. So, if you know me and my history, I've always been a Battlefield first kind of individual. Battlefield Bad Company 2, that's my shit. Battlefield 2, that's actually, I started on the regular Xbox playing that. At the time, I was actually going through chemotherapy, and really the only way I was able to interact with other individuals was through the Xbox Live, And Battlefield 2 was the game that I played. It was Battlefield 2 Modern Combat. Loved it to death. I still to this day, I still think about memories back then. And, it kind of stuck with me. I got the 360 because, the Halo, I'm like, Halo's my franchise. I got the 360 because of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And I enjoyed 2 and 3. Those Modern Warfare 3 is the last Call of Duty I actually played. But regardless, for years and years and years and years, you would see, the next Call of Duty is going to have this and that, this and that, this and that, and this, that, and the third. And then it would come out, and then for the first couple of months, everybody's like, "Oh, it's amazing." And then after about 3 months, everybody's like, "Yeah, but it didn't have this that the last game had." And it seemed like it was a continuous trend. The more Call of Duties that would come out, and so it feels like that either we see a series that is stagnant and you haven't seen enough change that warrants you to say, "Hey, this feels refreshing." Like when Titanfall came out, it's very Call of Duty-like, made by the same individuals who once worked on Call of Duty titles that brought you the Modern Warfare series. So very similar, but it felt refreshing. And of course, whenever you go to some of the Call of Duty titles, you're like, "Hey, this really doesn't feel that." You look at the opposite end of the spectrum. You look at Battlefield. Battlefield's the same way. For years and years and years, it was going down the same spectrum. Terrible, terrible campaigns, an uninspiring gunplay, the same thing, just reskinned with this and that and this and that. continuously. And it wasn't until this last Battlefield that people were like, hey, it feels refreshing. And what did they do? They said, let's do something a little bit different, but all in the end, it's doing the same. So I see these. Are they the pinnacle? I really can't say that they are the pinnacle, especially whenever you start to see they're not inspired no more. You hear rumors about them having a battle royale mode. Why? Why would you want a battle royale mode of Call of Duty or Battlefield?
So
they're not set up for that.
My only question, and you'll be able to answer this with ease, because like you, I grew up playing Battlefield 2. Bad Company 2, honestly, is one of the better games I've played. Wasn't Battlefield like the large scale combat system? Wasn't that kind of sort of the first battle royale?
Right?
Like,
I was about to say that.
Like, you see Fortnite release this new 50v50 mode. It's like cool. You kind of got that idea, I think, from Battlefield doing it 64 on 64. Like, you realize large scale combat in a small enclosed area or even in a larger areas, it's like it works well. So you want to do 100-person free for all, but then you want to also toss something like, oh, let's do 50v50 and see how that works, and that's becoming one of the more played game types in Fortnite. It's like you got that from Battlefield. Now Battlefield's like, we want to do a battle royale. It's like, no. Stick to what you know. Stick to the large-scale combat with 64 on 64, because that set the bar for what's now going forward. Like, people want to see large-scale combat. Hence, battle royale is becoming a thing now. Like, you see what can happen. Why would you try to downgrade what you have to meet the new age of gaming? Just stick with what you got. People will always play catch-up to you.
You know, out of all the rumors, I think that the one thing that I'm most disappointed about is we're talking about the next one is supposed to be Battlefield 5, and they're talking about it as Battlefield V. And my personal favorite DLC of all of the Battlefields, and this comes from Bad Company 2, is Battlefield Vietnam. I still am holding out hope that we're not having World War II with the next Battlefield, that the
Vietnam
is Vietnam. I'm hoping. I know it's not going to happen, but wishes out there. I'll shit in one hand. I know what will fill up faster.
That would be very interesting, though. Battlefield Vietnam. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. So, Bells, how do you feel about Black Ops 2? Or I'm sorry, Black Ops 4? But it's
my first question to anyone, and this is something that everybody either has contemplated, or if you haven't yet, it's going to dawn on you as being the most pertinent question you've been asked all month. How the fuck do the Call of Duty servers think they're going to have 100 people in a room when they can't handle 6v6 without that stuff frame rating?
Just a heads up, this is definitely not safe for work podcast. I know we're about an hour into it, but don't show your kids this podcast because there's some stuff that they should not be hearing. Just a little disclaimer.
This is the after hours cast.
Yeah, but
as a matter of fact, send them little shits to bed.
We already had one little Mexican baby running around in the background. We don't need any more going like, Mom, Dad, what are you watching?
But seriously, how are they going to manage that? If they can't have 2 teams of 6 on screen without it frame rating or crashing or merging host, how are they going to manage 100 people in the same room?
That's a seriously good question.
For me, this whole Battle Royale in Call of Duty starts and ends right there. And if they have the ability for their servers to be able to handle that, then why haven't we been seeing that technology and that kind of level of service support for all of these years so far? Even the last installment of Call of Duty, why have we not been seeing that kind of level of service? If it's there, why are we not getting it?
Because what's my first opinion on that is, look what the game panders to. Like, it's a shooter, but it panders to like little like preteen and teenagers who only really care about how they can break the game. If you get into a game and you go into the freaking game chat, it's mostly asshole mode right now. Mostly what we call squeakers, which are just, prepubescent teens who ran around before puberty and were like, oh, let's let's go play Call of Duty because it's a fun game and it's easy to play. Like, they don't give a shit about the actual servers. All they care about is making a game that's simple to play and will appeal to young kids. Zombies is still the biggest thing in the world for some fucking reason. But the game itself is Call of Duty is worse than Ark. I will go on record. Call of Duty is significantly worse than Ark, and still fuck Ark at the same time because Ark sucks.
Wow,
But
that's salt. You better stop that,
We're worried
mister.
about the children in the background. Now apparently,
I ain't got no kids yet. But no, they literally they'll sit there and say like, we want to do 100-person servers. We're gonna do this, but at the same time, they'll just give you the same exact game with a brand new title and put it out there. And be like, yeah, by the way, this is a new Call of Duty. We're gonna work on 100-person servers in like 10 years. But you have a new Call of Duty for your 12-year-old son to run around and stream. I'm gonna fuck your mother. You're a piece of shit. You have no skill.
See, for the longest time, everybody's been saying, hey, these kids don't grow up racist. It's how you raise them. No, playing Call of Duty makes you racist.
Playing Call of Duty gives you cancer.
and playing Ark gives you AIDS.
Ouch. Hey, live life to the fullest, baby. Live life to the
fullest. That's it.
Sorry, Dizzy.
I think what it is Bala and Reaper just don't have it in them. Doesn't have what it takes to be a true Ark player.
1v1 me.
I think that's just the reality of it. Unfortunately.
1v1 me, bitch.
I wouldn't even want to. I would just. I don't know. I'd just lay down and be like,
if
okay.
you want to talk about survival games, come meet me in PUBG. We'll see who survives the longest and wins that.
But I mean,
if I can even connect to the server,
yeah, I connect just fine every day. I'll load in right now and be good to go.
To actually address the question that Dizzy asked, though, is Call of Duty and Battlefield still the bar? Unfortunately, I believe that they still are, not because they're as great as what they once were, but because there isn't another franchise that has cemented themselves in there year after year enough to be seen as being as formidable a force in video games as what Call of Duty and Battlefield are. They still are the front runners. They still get the most amount of sales every year. It is just how it is in that regard. Are they still what they used to be? No. In my mind, Call of Duty has just lost its identity completely. I could not be more disappointed in the Call of Duty franchise today than what I possibly am. I am the kind of person who used to be a clan leader who would get up at 3 o'clock on a Sunday morning to lead my clan through bloody clan ops for 3 hours, and we would sludge that shit out at 3 a.m. I'm the person who would be down there at midnight to pick up my collector's edition that cost me $400. That's the kind of Call of Duty fanatic I used to be. So I make these statements being somebody who has put thousands upon thousands of hours and dollars of my time and money into this franchise because of how much I used to love what it was. When it was glorious, it was fucking glorious, but that is not what it is today. It's lost its identity, and I fear that Battlefield is on a little bit of that same slope as well. It's redeemed itself somewhat, but again, I just don't feel that either of those franchises have the right to call themselves, the be-all and end-all when it comes to the FPS franchises. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, until another franchise comes in and has sort of like a yearly or bi-yearly release that sells as well and is as popular, then they are going to continue to be our bars.
Wow.
You guys
That's why I played Ghost Recon.
And Ark.
Hey, but after hearing your rant, it almost sounds like you might have what it takes to be an Ark player.
Dude, you guys, I've gotten like Dizzy and I've had discussions like you guys think you've put like significant time into Ark. She's put way more time into the Call of Duty franchise than
the amount of time that I have dropped into Ark is still
it's a drop in a teacup. It's a drop in a teacup of the hours I put in Call of Duty.
It really is. Like
it has no bearing, and I cannot measure that against what Bella has dropped in the Call of Duty. I will say that.
There have been times I get home from the bar that I work at, like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, you know what? I can squeeze in a quick Battlefield round. I'll log in, and Bella being in Australia, like, granted, it's 4 a.m. in America. She's over in Australia, and she's like, I log in, and she's like, oh, I'm, Call of Duty match. I'll pop in there and see what she's. No.
So, are there any franchises that might stick out that they have a shot at possibly knocking one of these out of that ring? Because I'll be honest, in the beginning of this genre, And in the beginning of this generation of consoles, I really felt like Titanfall could knock one of them off the pedestal. And then we saw EA do what EA does best and fumble them all on it with Titanfall 2.
Well, that's the problem. There probably are a lot of franchises that could be competitive, but unfortunately they're stuck to the constraints of their publishers. That was a problem with Titanfall, and unfortunately Respawn, obviously the only reason that Titanfall became the hit that it was because it was picked up by the publishers and the amount of money and time and marketing they sunk into it, and thank God they did, because Titanfall was fucking amazing. I absolutely loved that thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was playing Call of Duty, and someone would be like, "Hey, want to come play some Titanfall?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want to come play some Titanfall." And then I'm playing that, and people are like, "Hey, come back and play some Call of Duty." I'm like, "Can I bring my Titan?" Otherwise, no, I don't want to play Call of Duty. So like Titanfall was amazing, and yeah, you know, it had it has the appeal and the potential there. Unfortunately, I think the problem that we've fallen into here is that Call of Duty and Battlefield, those particular places that they both fill in the FPS genre, are filled already by those, and anything else that tries to fill it are always going to be slandered as being a rip-off of Call of Duty or a rip-off of, I mean, even Titanfall had that problem, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, oh, it's just Call of Duty with bloody robots. Well, yeah, but the robots are freaking fucking cool. I can't get no robot in Call of Duty. Well, you can today because Call of Duty's lost its identity, but you know, I think, unfortunately, those two are always going to feel that. There's no filling those spots without saying that this is a ripoff of one or the other. For another franchise to come in and take that place, it has to be a ripoff of Call of Duty or a ripoff of Battlefield, but it has to do it better, consistently, and for a few years in a row.
So do we feel that might be what will be going on, given the fact that right now it seems like that everybody wants a piece of the pie out of the Battle Royale? How do we feel about Battle Royale taking the place of that first-person shooter experience that we used to have?
Look, I mean, it has its place, right? People are loving it. People are enjoying it. Let them enjoy it while they enjoy it. I feel like it's like most things. It'll die off after a while, and it'll just become something that some franchises choose to add as a game mode and others don't.
I don't know.
It's a fad.
I think it kind of goes back to what Reaper was saying about how it's just something old that's already been happening, like with Battlefield and with Call of Duty, that's just been regurgitated, and it's something new, like you said, that when I was calling what was it
It's God, the new black,
the freaking from Blizzard, what's the damn Overwatch is just Dota, right? It's the same thing being recycled and trying to be represented as something new, but it just has a different spin on it. So I mean, I honestly don't know if that's going to be the new thing, and I'm kind of disappointed that you heard that what was it, Battlefield was going to try and implement some sort of battle royale mode. It's just keep doing what you're doing, man. And as far as them being the bar, them and Call of Duty, then yeah, pretty much in that genre of gaming. I would say nothing else comes close, really. Titanfall was cool, but it's not Battlefield. It's not, what the hell's the other one? Call of Duty. I don't know what could come close to that, unless it was Battlefield Vietnam.
I tell you what. Grand Theft Auto 6, that shit will get everybody off Call of Duty.
You know what's going to happen first to look at everybody off Call of Duty? Red Dead Redemption.
Tell them.
Yeah, Red Dead 2.
Oh man. So that's actually a good question to propose. What is going to beat Red Dead Redemption 2's sales this year?
I mean, if we're going based off you alone, they're going to top legitimately any game that's come out since Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, I think their only barrier to selling as many copies as they possibly can is being able to keep them in stock on shelves.
Oh yeah, and now that you have digital sales, like, I mean, that says something when the titles that are normally in November said, let's go a month early. Let's try to get the pre-sale. That are heralded for being November releases. Everybody expects your release in November. Call of Duty,
like the second week of November, everybody marks down, this is Call of Duty week. And then you see Red Dead Redemption comes out. Red Dead Redemption, it's just like, okay, we're going to bump Call of Duty week up like 2 weeks because we will not beat Red Dead 2.
No,
Red Dead.
And all their sales happen in the first couple of weeks. And whilst everybody jokes about Call of Duty week and how people take time off and stuff, I never, like for the first several years where I was really into Call of Duty, I never took time off at Christmas. I took a week off in November, from November 7th through to 14th. I took that week off. That was my Christmas holidays. It was my Codmas. I took a week off for COD.
Codmas.
Haven't done it in like 5 years now.
And again, this is coming from the Queen of COD herself.
It's great fish, cod.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, cod. Are we talking about fish now?
Cod is delicious.
So much.
With basil.
With basil.
Well, so folks, I do believe that it is about time that we do go ahead and get on out of here. I do want to thank everybody who has stopped in. Does anybody have any last words on any of our subjects?
Yeah, Ark is life.
Ark is life. Hashtag Ark is life.
Hashtag Ark blows.
Oh man, we gotta get you on there. We gotta get you in the tribe and get you set up with a little dinosaur, and you'd be great, bro.
Funny story. Funny you mentioned that. I had that. I was in Dizzy's tribe. I had two Rexes, one of which just didn't make it out of childbirth, apparently. And then Dizzy took the other one to fight a boss after I stopped playing, and that one died. So,
hey,
that's
sometimes sacrifices. Yeah, it's circle of life.
Circle of life, bro.
I'm not even mad. I'm honestly not mad. He told me, he was like, "Yeah, your dino died," and I was like, "How did he die?" He's like, "Oh, he died fighting a boss." I was like, "You know."
See, I like that there was some concern for his dinosaur there, though. He was like, "How did he die? Did he get sick? Did he starve? You know?"
Well, yeah, the first one.
Was it my fault?
Yeah, was it my fault?
Was it my fault?
Did I do something wrong? Was I a bad dino daddy?
Yeah.
Horrible dino daddy. Dad, I'm hungry. Sucks.
They took him to a theme park and they tried to make him an attraction, and it just shit hit the fan. And next thing you know, people are dying, children are screaming.
The rule of thumb is if you're playing a game like that and you have any investment into your assets in that game, do not play it with Dizzy. I learned this playing Grand Theft Auto with Dizzy. And one of the things that I did to pay Dizzy back for this is he decided one day that he was going to make a video, and he scripted it, and he had a couple of his friends, and they were going to do this whole video thing. It was going to be like this whole scene where, you know, they pulled up and they were like going to rob a bloody convenience store, and the whole thing was scripted. They practice and practice and practice. And he's like, "Hey, Bells, would you mind just like coming in with the car and just like, you know, when I say blah, 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 you drive in with the car real fast and you get up and just like start shooting the, you know, the windows in the petrol station." I'm like, yeah, sure, I can totally do that. So anyway, right at the critical point, I just got out my rocket launcher and blew up the petrol station. I'm like, "Yes, bitch! How do you like that? How do you like your shit getting blown up, huh?" It was great.
It's true. That did happen. I was like, I said bullets, not explosives.
I tried that once with Dizzy, and it ended with me being ruthlessly massacred, and I was like, I'm done with anything that he can kill me in, because
I don't think that I could continue to come here. Everybody's exposing how I'm an awful person right now.
I haven't
experienced the set of Dizzy yet.
Okay, so Dizzy and my brother are like best friends. Ultima days, out of nowhere, he just kills my brother. Just randomly walks, "Hey, Chris, what's up?" Boop, dead for no fucking reason, and then runs away. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Well, it's Dizzy, the destroyer of towns, bro. What do you expect?
It's true.
Breaker of ankles.
So, Bella, before we're out of here, do you have anything that is coming down the pipeline? Anything that you're working on, or?
Sorry, was that directed at me? I didn't quite hear.
Yeah, that was directed to you. Do you have anything coming down the pipeline?
Yeah, I do. I've got a few. I've got a couple of reviews that I'm working on at the moment, and look, as I said, I'm now actually spreading myself across 2 home businesses now. So putting half my spare time into RGM, half my time into the House of Scales, and then, you know, there's the normal got to pay the bills jobs. So yeah, it's quite a busy time, but yeah, just keep an eye on Real Game Media, or follow my Twitter account, which is Miss Bella, or just type in Bella Ryse, it comes up straight away. So yeah, anything that I do sort of pops up on there, and yeah, nothing too exciting to report. Hey?
Absolutely. And actually, the website and her Twitter are actually going to be down in the description. So be sure to check it out. The links are going to be down there. What
Just
about
don't come at me
you?
about Call of Duty because it's not going to end well for anybody.
Hey, Bill,
I don't want no
Duty.
tweens tweeting me like Call of Duty is live. Hashtag, reels and shit. No, get out of here.
Somebody, I will legitimately pay somebody with a crisp high five if they tweet at her asking her to play Call of Duty when it comes out. Just so I can log into Twitter and see the 30 tweets that she just sends out at you.
Just
180 characters per tweet. I just hate.
We're going to start a Patreon movement for this.
Yeah, I got Venmo. I'll do it.
Word.
What about you, Reaper? Do you have anything coming on this week? Anything you got going on?
Just got a final on Thursday, graduate next Thursday, and then I'll be on Xbox for the foreseeable future. Just, running around some PUBG. Come find me on the battlefield. Good luck surviving. I will find you. I will kill you. And I will.
Have you had a chance to meet up with King David over there at the Iron Lords podcast yet?
I have not. He's never. I feel like we have different. Like me and Cognito over Iron Lords, we have different schedules where it's I want to play PUBG with you, but it's two different schedules entirely. I really feel like
you bring up King David because Cognito said to me, "Oh, Bells, we've got to get you back on sometime soon because King David hasn't had to deal with you yet. He's like he doesn't know what's coming. We've got to get you back on here so that King David can have somebody to argue with." I'm like, "What? Hang on."
Bella argue? Never.
I don't argue. I just disagree in a very forward.
And for your War Fingers, you got anything coming? Anything? You got?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna start diving into Conan Exile pretty soon here. Waiting for Red Dead 2 to come out. Wait, I'm sorry. What?
That's that because one boring game isn't enough.
Right. So they have snakes that you can tame in this game too, right? I know you're into snakes. You got scale house.
I am here. I ain't gonna do that shit digitally.
Okay, I don't know. I'm trying to find a way to bring you into one of the best games of all time. No, so yeah, just that, video
Look,
game.
I guess, but I do respect the fact that you love Ark. Everybody has the right to respect and play whatever game they want. So I do respect. I'm still going to take the fucking piss out of you, but I respect that you like it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And we respect that you like, what is that? What game?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Right.
No. I actually specifically went on a rant about how I don't like it anymore.
Oh, okay. So you play what now?
So you didn't even listen. It's like ultimate
Veteran of Action Hours. You don't listen to your other panelists, man. I love it. Welcome.
That's awesome. Yeah, but yeah, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to hopefully being a part of the revival of playback gaming. Yeah.
Absolutely. And again, we do like to appreciate everybody who had stopped in, checked out everything we got going on down here. We are going to be doing this weekly. So every Tuesday at this time, 9:00, you will be expecting After Hours. And of course, you never know who may pop in or what might be said. Just make sure that the children are in bed. I rhymed like Dr. Sims over here. Oh, I got goosebumps from that.
Just to clarify, we did hit bingo, correct?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Well done.
We have to get an entirely new list of words, and I will actually design a little bingo board for next week if you guys want, and I'll hold it up the entire time. Like, oh, got one. Got another one.
You heard.
Do it, man.
Easy done. I'll put the list together, Drew. I'll send it over.
Absolutely. Well, folks, once again, we thank you all, and we are out of here.